Okay, good day children. So again we are back with the class major landforms of the earth. So in this we are going to see the landform plateau and plains. As we have seen the first class, there are so many physical features and important physical features we have analyzed in this topic are mountain, plateau and plain. So today we can see plateau and plain. So first we can go to the first landform, that is plateau. And what is a plateau? Plateau is a relatively flat land, but it is different from a plain. How is it different? A plain is a low-lying flat land, but plateau is a flat land a bit elevated. So that is the one which makes a plain and a plateau different. Plateau is a flat land, but it is an elevated land. It is elevated from the surrounding area. Because of this reason, it is also known as table land, because it is elevated and flat on surface. Okay. So what is a plateau? A plateau is an elevated flat upland. It is standing above the surroundings, above the sea level, and so it is also known as table land. Now plateaus can also be two types, young plateau and old plateau. What do you mean by young and old plateau? Young plateau means the plateaus that has been formed very recently, and old plateaus means which has been formed millions and millions years ago. So plateau, now example of plateau, you can see the plateau uplifted topland. Deccan Plateau in India is one of the famous example for the plateau, and it is one of the oldest plateau which has formed years, millions and millions years before. Now another example for the plateau is Western Plateau in Australia. Now Tibet Plateau is yet another example. What is the specialty of the Tibet Plateau? It is the highest plateau in the world. Tibet Plateau is the highest plateau in the world. So these are the examples of plateau. Now coming to the plateau, there are so many uses. Uses of plateaus are there. So the plateaus are rich in mineral deposits. So when we excavate the plateaus, we can see rich mineral contents are over there in this plateau areas. For example, so because of this mineral availability, you can see so many mines are being situated in the plateau regions in different parts of the world. For example, African plateau, it is rich in the content of gold and diamond. So automatically gold mining is there, and also the diamond mining is also found there. Then Chota Nagpur plateau in India, it is rich in iron, coal and manganese. So automatically there will be iron mining, coal mining and manganese mining here. Then another example of plateau is that plateaus, majority of the plateaus you can see there will be waterfalls. And how come the waterfalls in a plateau? So the plateau, you see, it is an elevated land. So the rivers flowing through the plateaus will be flowing down through from a height it will be falling down. It results in the formation of a waterfall. And what is the benefit of having a waterfall? If there is a waterfall, there is a possibility of producing hydroelectricity. And then these waters, water that has been used for hydroelectricity and the rest of the water can be channelized for the agriculture purposes. So the plateaus are usually we can find waterfalls, and waterfalls can be used for agriculture purpose and also for production of the hydroelectricity. So that is yet another use of plateau. An example of such waterfall you can see in Nagpur Plateau, Chota Nagpur Plateau, that is Hundru waterfall. Hundru waterfall that is found in Chota Nagpur Plateau. Another one is in Karnataka, Jog Falls. Okay. Now third one, there can be lava plateau. What is lava plateau? The plateau that is formed as a result of the volcanic eruption. The magma that is there under the earth under high heat and pressure will oozes out, and it will when this lava comes out to the surface of the earth, and when it's come in contact with the atmospheric pressure air, what will happen? It cools down and forms the black rock, lava rock, and the weathering of this lava rock will form black soil. And this type of lava plateaus are there, and we can see black soil also there, and this black soil is very fertile soil, and this black soil is very much suited for the cultivation of cotton. Yes, for the cotton cultivation black soil is very much used. So the lava plateau where you can see black fertile soil, it is good for agriculture. Now next one, in the plateau provides so many scenic beauties. and the scenic beauty attracts tourists. So when so many tourists comes to India, what happens? The income of the nation increases. It adds to the national income of the country. So another useful feature of the plateau is that it have scenic spots which attract tourists, and as a result our national income also increases. Now next landform that we can find on earth is plains. Plain is again plain area, low lying plain area, and plain are extensive areas of flat and gently undulating land. And how is this plain formed? The main reason for the formation of the plain is depositional and erosional activities of the rivers that are flowing from the top of the mountain. So when the rivers flows from the top of the mountain to the lowland, what happens? It carry along with it the rocks, small sand, silts and all along with its course. And when it comes to the valley or the bottom of the mountain, it deposits all that it has carried along in its course from top of the mountain on the valley, and then the water flows. And this continuous depositional work will result in the formation of a land below the mountain or on the valley of the mountain, and thus the plain are formed. So how are plains formed? Most of the plains are formed by rivers and their tributaries, which flow down the slope of the mountain through their deposition and erosion activity. So the main reason for the formation of the plain is the deposition and erosional activities of the rivers that are flowing from the top of the mountain down the valley. Okay. Now the plains, it is thickly populated. The density of the plain areas are very high. The people are occupying those areas and settled over there. And why the people have showing a tendency to settle down on a plain area? Because of the favorable climate, favorable conditions available over there. And what are the favorable conditions available for the people to settle down in a plain? So the plain are thickly populated because of the favorable conditions available over there. The first favorable condition is that the plain are very fertile. Since the plain, the soil there is very fertile, it is suitable for agriculture. So automatically because of this reason people will settle down over there. Second one, the construction of the transport network is very easy in a plain area. Transport network means construction of roads, construction of railways, etc. It is possible on a plain area. So again the people settle down over there because of this reason. So construction of the transport network is easy. Now third factor that is facilitating the settlement is flat land is available for building houses and for agriculture. For the agriculture and for building houses, flat lands are available. So automatically what will happen? People settle down over there. So because of these reasons we can see that the plains are thickly populated. So plains are thickly populated, or density of the population is high in the plain area. Why? Because of the favorable conditions available, and the favorable conditions are plains are very fertile, first one. So agriculture is possible. Construction of transport network is easy. Then flat land is available for building houses and for agriculture. Okay, that's why plain is thickly populated. So example of the plain. So you can see this is the Yangtze plain in China. So you can see a mountain here, the plain area, low lying plain area. So the rivers that is flowing from the mountain carry along with it the silts, sandstones, etc. and it has been deposited on the valley, resulting in the formation of a plain. Here again you can see in India Indo-Gangetic plain. See Indo-Gangetic plain. This is the mountain area, Himalaya mountain. All the rivers flowing from the erosional activities are being taken, and the depositional activity here resulting in the formation of Indo-Gangetic plain. So another one is the plain that is formed in the Ganga and Brahmaputra valley, that is also yet another plain. Okay. Now we have seen different types of land available, mountainous region, plateaus, plain, everything is there. But what we have to bear in mind? We have to bear in mind that these lands should not be wasted or destroyed because of the human activities. There are so many disasters taking place like landslides, etc. Earthquakes and all. We can minimize the damages occurring to the earth by creating awareness to the people. Moreover, we should not throw waste simply over this land, or we should not cultivate, we should not build houses in a fertile land which otherwise could have been used for cultivation. So, we should not destroy land. We have to make a judicious use of the available land without any damage to it, without destroying it. We have to keep in mind that this particular land is also have to be made available for the future generation also. You have learned about the sustainable development. We have to make a judicious use of what is available now and have to keep a part of it for the future generation. That sustainable development theory also have to be made use here. So, we have to preserve land. We have to use it judicially, and at the same time we have to preserve it. So, we have to use the land, the available land, in a judicious way without destroying them. It is our duty to leave the earth a better place for the future generation. We can make use of the land for our purpose, but we have to think about our future also. Okay, children? So, learn the lesson, read the textbook. Okay, thank you. Hope you understood. Thank you, children. Thank you.